Your race can be won or lost before you even hit the water. And many races are decided in the first few meters, because if you started slow, you're already chasing from behind. I'm Eetu Karvonen, and today I'm going to show you 3 powerful cues that make swimming starts explosive. The same cues elite athletes use to gain free speed off the blocks. We'll cover the ready position, the explosive drive, and the clean entry, so you know exactly what to do at every phase. And if you want to go deeper on these principles and the key cues for all 4 strokes, grab my ebook, Training Principles for Master Swimmers. Download it for free from the link in the description. So let's dive in. First on the menu, the ready position, and think of it as loading a spring. If you load it cleanly, it releases fast, and if you load it sloppily, there's energy leaking. And your goal is to keep your hips as high as possible with as straight of a back as possible. Unfortunately, the design of the block stops you from reaching a position well suited for aggressive jumping, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't try. As you descend into your position, load it up like you would a deadlift in the weight room. Start the movement by shifting your hips backwards, arching your back and keeping, especially the back leg, relatively straight. Some back rounding is inevitable as you fall down to grab the blocks. However, you should grab the edge of the block while holding your back as straight as possible, feeling the tension coiling up in your hamstrings and glutes. And this is usually achieved best by only holding the block with your fingertips, so that the arms can hang straight down while the shoulders remain as high as possible. And the biggest mistake here is letting the hip angle collapse and squatting down, which dissipates elastic tension away from the posterior chain. And we're not paying attention to the front leg yet, as its role is just to facilitate the best possible position for the back leg. So as you descend, find the optimal placement for the back foot. While the exact timing of when you set it doesn't matter, you'll often get a little more oomph if you finish setting your spring close to the start signal. So set the adjustable wedge far enough to allow a more horizontal back shin angle, and in general, place the back foot high on the wedge. You want to be ready to explode horizontally. The arm pull and the following forward shift of the body will flatten the shin angle anyway, but your setup should minimize how much shifting is needed so you can produce near horizontal force as fast as possible when the signal goes off. And as the on your marks command comes through the speakers or your coach or perhaps training partner's mouth, rotate the arms externally while holding the arms straight. This connects you to the blocks through the lats, and if paired with a gentle spinal lengthening, adds even more pre-stretch tension that can be felt through the hamstrings. Now, as a general rule, if you're more fast twitch and sprint oriented, bias a bit more of your body load to the front leg. You get faster reactions but less time to generate force. But if you're more endurance based, keep a touch more load on the back leg. Slightly lower reactions but more time to build force for the jump. The feel you want is even tension from fingertips to lats, to core, to hips, to hamstrings, like a bowstring just before release. Letting the upper back round any more than necessary or bringing the hips down, which causes you to close down the knee angle, will diminish your springiness by slackening the posterior chain. So set the posture, split the load almost evenly, and feel coiled, athletic, long, and ready to explode. And here's a simple progression to train this at the pool. It starts with feeling balanced in every position, learning to hold each phase with ease. And this is important because your brain reads instability and will limit power output if balance feels shaky. If you can't hold your ready position comfortably, you'll never express full power. And many swimmers would literally drop into the pool if the starter held them 2 seconds longer. So you need to master these positions completely. So before anything else, let your vestibular system adapt to both your take your marks, and pre-jump positions by holding them statically for 30 seconds or so. If you feel wobbly, you have some work to do. Secondly, use touch and go starts to leverage the stretch shortening cycle. So instead of letting elasticity dissipate during a long static hold, dip fast, fingertips softly touching the edge, and spring forward immediately. And if your mechanics are sound, you'll feel the difference versus a static start. And the idea is to learn the elastic rebound and then recreate a similar internal bounce while holding the position as you wait for the signal, using the exact posture and tension tools we just covered. Once the ready position is set, it's time for the most aggressive moment in swimming, the jump from the blocks. And phase 2 is the explosive drive forward, turning loaded tension into horizontal power. And it starts with the arm drive and the shoot. And while there are different styles to accomplish effective use arms in the start, they all must obey two principles. And principle 1, use the hands to pull the body forward over the block. Think of a slight back and down pull on the front edge. That shifts your center of mass over the front leg and flattens the shin angle in both legs toward horizontal. While you're pulling, the upper body thrust forward and upward, extending fully through the neck, upper back, and hips so your mass gets as far in front of the block as possible. And principle 2, get the arms in front of the body before the front foot leaves the block. Just like any maximal horizontal jump on land, you swing the arms into the direction you want to go, and the body will follow. That arm lead consistently adds power compared to no arm jumps. Those big arm swings elites use aren't for show. They're building angular momentum so they can throw the arms forward hard just before the front leg push. But for the most of us, showy arm movements such as a straight arm swing over the body might prevent you from getting the arms out front in time. And if that happens, there is no point in it. And the worst version, the arms punching backwards while you jump forward, is just bad because it fails basic physics. You don't want to introduce force opposite to your travel at takeoff, and you can try it on land. Nobody swings their arms back at the exact moment they want to jump forward because it kills all momentum forward. So, onto the legs. As the hands finish pulling on the blocks and reorient forward, the back leg starts extending. And remember what powers a jump: the posterior chain, glutes and hamstrings. The pattern is mostly hip extension. Yes, you also extend the knee and ankle, triple extension, but the main driver of horizontal force is hip extension. That means after the knee has done its job, the back leg drive is upwards as the hip hyperextends, and this needs to be paired with the upper body driving up and forward so you don't push yourself downward. The front leg's role is straightforward. The arm pull brings the body forward, the arm shoot and back leg drive set the direction. As the back leg rises, your front leg shin angle moves to almost horizontal, and then your job with the front leg is just to drive maximally into the block in that exact direction. Again, maximizing hip extension. And here's a good test if you can film yourself starting. If your body is fully or at least nearly fully extended into the direction of the front shin, your mechanics on the block have been successful. However, in master swimmers, I rarely see this. Instead, the hip stays flexed, which seriously dampens your power production. And to understand how much, you can test this on land as well. Jump forward while restricting hip extension. You'll reach a quarter of the distance you would get when you rip it from the hips. And the jump from the blocks is no different. And here is two simple exercises to groove the drive. First, the swinging bent relay starts. And in these, the goal is to swing the arms forward and let the arms' terminal swing forward dictate everything else. Hit the arms hard to the front, that shifts your center of mass toward the pull. And from there, explode with the lower body, extend the hips in the direction the arms are taking you. Don't worry about the entry yet. And a few belly flops are a fair price to learn a truly explosive start. The second exercise is what I call the ghost hand start, where instead of grabbing the edge of the block, you only slightly connect with the block to load the ready position, and then rehearse the exact arm actions you intend to use. And I recommend a simple shooting style where the arms are lifted up and then shot forward. But the Brad Tandy / Caleb Dressel style big arm swing might be even better, but only if you get the arms forward before the final front leg push. First, do them slowly, intentionally connecting the movements and making sure you push the jump sequence on with your arms. Then go faster and faster until the pattern is automatic, and then proceed into full starts. And once the explosive drive is dialed in, we can put our efforts towards our final phase of the start, the entry, which may be the most important skill to possess. You can create great speed in the air and waste all of it as you transfer from the air into the water. And the goals are simple. Minimal splash, a stable line, and an entry angle you can carry into your underwaters without losing momentum. As you finish the drive, get long first. Arms and body fully extended. In the air, bring the front leg up to meet the back leg so the feet come together as the highest point of your air travel. This tips your trajectory from purely forward to the downward angle you want. A small nod of the head and the arm line can assist, but neither matters unless both legs are lifted to the angle you intend to take into the water. From here, you have two clean ways to enter, and both can work. For a deeper entry to support longer underwaters, stay long and straight until the fingertips and head break the surface. As the upper back slides in, begin to shape the body so the chest rotates toward horizontal while the lower body extends towards vertical. This way, the legs can follow a straight down path into the water and only bend to horizontal as they enter the water, following the upper body's rounded trajectory forward. Unfortunately, most master swimmers don't have the patience to bend their legs up. Instead, they let their lower body collapse into the water, causing huge amounts of water displacement and slow down of velocity. The second style is often used by swimmers with a bit shallower entry, but it does work for deeper underwaters as well. In it, instead of lifting the legs and arching your back, you actually pull the legs down by piking the hips as the upper body enters the water. This way, the legs follow in the same trajectory into the water as the upper body. However, this version demands powerful jumps for the needed momentum to punch through the water to carry the line through the water in a straightforward fashion. And in both entrance styles, the obvious stuff is the same. Tight streamlines, toes pointed, and in the end, the goal is just to disturb the water surface as minimally as possible. The biggest mistake being overcorrecting the trajectory by kicking down at the entry. This not only causes an audible slap on the surface, but also forces the body to change direction angularly, leading to exaggerated velocity decay. And training this last phase is tricky. The only real path is reps. Do starts, review the outcome, and build your hydroception, the feel for where the speed is being carried or lost and how much splash you're creating. If you have access to diving platforms, practice a few entries from higher up. The extra height amplifies both the good and the bad habits, which sharpens your feel and makes the feedback more apparent when you return to normal block starts. Dial in these 3 cues, load the spring, explode with full extension powered by the posterior chain, and knife into the water, and your start will become faster. Practice them in every session until they're automatic. And if you found this video helpful, subscribe and drop a comment with what part of the start is most challenging for you. And if you're ready to take your start and the rest of your swimming to the next level, check out my one-on-one coaching. We start with a free 30-minute call The link is in the description. And I'll see you in the next one.